Chapter 5 Prince Charming. "Mother, Mother, I am so happy!" cried the girl, burying her face in the lap of the tired-looking woman. "I am so happy," she repeated, "and you must be happy too." Mrs. Vane put her thin white hands on her daughter's head. "Happy," she said. "I am only happy, Sybil, when I see you act. You must not think of anything but your acting. Mr. Isaacs has been very good to us, and we owe him money." The girl looked up. "Money, Mother?" she cried. "What does money matter? Love is more than money. But we are poor. We owe money to Mr. Isaacs. You mustn't forget it, Sybil. £50 is a very large sum." "Mr. Isaacs, he is not a gentleman, Mother, and I hate the way he talks to me," said the girl, rising to her feet and going to the window. "I don't know how we could manage without him," answered the elder woman. Sybil Vane laughed. "We don't want him any more, Mother. Prince Charming rules life for us now." Then she paused. A rose shook in her blood and shadowed her cheeks. Quick breath parted the petals of her lips. They trembled. Some southern wind of passion swept over her and stirred the folds of her dress. "I love him," she said simply. "Foolish child! Foolish child!" she heard her mother's voice. The girl laughed again. The joy of a caged bird was in her voice. Her eyes caught the melody, then closed for a moment, as though to hide their secret. When they opened, the mist of a dream had passed across them. "Mother, Mother," she cried, "why does he love me so much? I know why I love him. I love him because he is like what love himself should be. But what does he see in me? I am not worthy of him, and yet, why I cannot tell, I feel proud, terribly proud. Mother, did you love my father as I love Prince Charming?" The elder woman grew pale. Sybil rushed to her, threw her arms round her neck, and kissed her. "Forgive me, Mother, I know it hurts you to talk about our father, but it only hurts you because you loved him so much. Don't look so sad. I am as happy today as you were 20 years ago. Ah, let me be happy forever." "My child, you are too young to think of falling in love. Besides, what do you know of this young man? You don't even know his name. And now, when your brother James is going away to Australia, we have a lot of problems. However, as I said before, if he is rich—" "Ah, Mother, Mother, let me be happy." At this moment the door opened, and a young lad with untidy brown hair came into the room. His hands and feet looked too large, and he was clumsy in movement. He did not look like his sister at all. And Sybil ran across the room and hugged him. James Vane looked into his sister's face with love. "I want you to come out with me for a walk, Sybil. I don't suppose I shall ever see this horrid London again. I am sure I don't want to." "My son, don't say such dreadful things," said his mother. "Why not, Mother? I mean it." "You pain me, my son. I believe you will return from Australia, and you will be rich. And here in London—" "I don't want to know anything about that. I should like to make some money to take you and Sybil off the stage. I hate it." "Oh, Jim," said Sybil, laughing, "how unkind of you. But are you really going for a walk with me? That will be nice. It is very sweet of you to let me have your last afternoon. Where shall we go? Let us go to the park." And she ran out of the room to get dressed for a walk. James walked up and down the room 2 or 3 times. Then he turned to his mother. "Mother, are my things ready?" he asked. "Quite ready, James," she answered. All I say is watch over Sybil. Don't let her come to any harm, Mother. You must watch over her. James, you really talk very strangely. Of course I watch over Sybil. I hear a gentleman comes every night to the theater and talks to her. Is that right? What about that? As for Sybil, I do not know whether her sense is serious or not. But there is no doubt that the young man is a perfect gentleman. He is always most polite to me. Besides, he looks like a rich gentleman, and the flowers he sends are lovely. You don't know his name, though, said the lad. He has not yet told us his real name. I think it is quite romantic of him. Watch over Sybil, Mother, James cried. Watch over her. My son, Sybil is always under my special care. Of course, if this gentleman is rich, there is no reason why she should not marry him. It can be a most brilliant marriage for Sybil. They would make a charming couple. His good looks are really wonderful. Everybody notices them. That moment the door opened, and Sybil ran in. How serious you both are, she cried. What is the matter? Nothing, he answered. I suppose one must be serious sometimes. Goodbye, Mother. I will have my dinner at 5 o'clock. Everything is packed except my shirts, so you need not trouble. Come, Sybil. And they went out. The strangers looked in wonder at the heavy, dark boy, who was in the company of such a graceful girl. He was like a common gardener walking with a rose. James didn't like to be looked at. Sybil didn't notice anything around. Her love was trembling in laughter on her lips. She was thinking of Prince Charming. She thought of him, but she did not talk of him. She talked about the ship in which Jim was going to sail, about the gold he would find, about the wonderful lady whose life he would save. She was only a year older than he was, but she knew so much more of life. He must be sure to write her and to say his prayers each night before he went to sleep. God was very good and would watch over him. She would pray for him too, and in a few years he would come back quite rich and happy. The lad listened to her and made no answer. He was heartsick at leaving home. Yet it was not this alone that made him gloomy and sad. He felt that his sister was in great danger. This young man could mean her no good. He was a gentleman, and he hated him for that. You are not listening to a word I am saying, Jim, cried Sybil, and I am making the most delightful plans for your future. Do say something.